I recently was invited to an event that apparently is partially made specifically to honor me. I was very shocked. I was very touched. I have spent a lot of time and energy being part of major events that help people, and it's gotten the attention of some folks who wanted to show some appreciation for that. I've been doing it for a couple of years now and did not do it expecting to ever have this happen. I did it because I care, but it is still really nice. It's appreciated. So I will be going to this event that some folks are throwing, and a bunch of people from like the district are getting together to celebrate some of the good works that have been going on, including my own. And that's really awesome. But something about that is it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't even be possible if I didn't lead with what I think is right. And sometimes that is easier said than done. Sometimes having really strong ethics and doing what you think is right can land you in hot water. I have unfortunately tried to do the right thing before to the best of my ability and had people not take it right or turn it against me and treat me not very nicely, not be very supportive, even when I sacrificed for their sake. That sucks. That's a very horrible feeling. But I lead with my convictions. I really do. And for the majority part, most people seem to appreciate it. It helps a lot of people and it helps me. It helps my mental health to help people. It helps me, feel a really strong sense of self and identity, but it also helps in other ways. When you are working or even starting a business, having a really strong set of morals and ideals can help you in a lot of ways. I've met way too many people who compare themselves to other people way too much. And if you have your own really strong sense of purpose and ideals and ethics, it's easier to ignore the noise of what other people are doing. If someone else seems like they're so much more successful or, oh, they're so competitive or whatever, but your ideals are not about competition but collaboration, that person's gonna not really affect you much when they succeed. You're not going to be as distracted from your own path. Another thing is you can love your customers or your support system, your community, whatever it is that you have going on. You you can love them much more easily because you keep sticking to your ideals and drawing, for the most part, people who might share similar passions and ideals. Those common belief systems create a sense of faith in each other, and you can end up with really solid teamwork that's going on and deep personal connections. It's way better than just plain old everyday networking, let me tell you. When you lead with your convictions, sometimes, unfortunately, some people will try to troll you or even harm you because they don't agree with you. That sucks. And unfortunately, especially in our current Western society, there seems to be a lot of divisiveness about what's right and what's not. Like black and white thinking is really, really becoming prevalent. That sucks. That's not great. In reality, almost everything's a shade of gray and almost everything's on a spectrum. It's very rare that something's just right or wrong. It's almost always contextually based whether something is right or wrong. And having the ability to use critical thinking skills and think about that is something that helps you have critical thinking skills in other situations as well. it's a good practice, it's a good habit, and it's just beneficial to you overall to be using your brain and not stuck in a brain fog and basically substituting, you know, technology into the gaps in your thinking. It's better to sit with yourself, get to know yourself, understand where your convictions are. Because when the world starts falling down around you and it seems like everything's on fire and you feel alone, believe me, your convictions are going to be the thing that helps you not lose yourself, that helps you keep liking yourself. And that's an extremely important thing. On top of that, there's also something to be said for understanding your convictions and your morals, your ethics helps you also understand your emotions. When something is scary, you can tell what's going on with you and why it scares you a lot better. And you can maybe address the situation or the trigger because you know what's important to you. So, for instance, I think it's very important to be caring and protective of people. And when I encounter someone who wants to harm someone I know or I care about, I I instantaneously just go into protection mode. And that protectiveness is something I like about myself, but also I can tell it's partially a fear reaction. And so I can work on myself when I'm not in that specific situation and try to think what are things that maybe I can do to avoid getting afraid in the first place, or that I can change about my protectiveness to be less, you know, right up front, direct, you know. I can be pretty expressive. And you can think about that with things like sadness or anger or even happiness. You know, when I feel joy, things that really make me joyful, how can I invite more of that into my life? Things that make me feel deeply satisfied, how can I bring more of that to me? I'm aware of what I value, I'm aware of what I care about, and I'm aware of the emotional reactions I have to things because I lead with my ethics. So while I deeply appreciate this invitation and this happening, and it's exciting, I can't believe it in some ways, and I'm very grateful. On the other hand, it I don't need that to be a person who leads with my ethics. I appreciate it. I'm not disappointed that it's happening, to be clear, but I would have done it anyway. I would have kept helping people and kept trying to be part of events that help people anyway, because that's fundamentally part of who I am as a person. And I just have no intentions of being a less loving person. Even when sometimes people don't always treat me well, I just, I'm proud of that about myself. I like that about myself. I happen to think I'm someone worth being. And that carries you a long way, especially, man, sometimes people lie to you, like full on just lie to you, and you have no idea. You find out later and you're just blindsided by the lies. That's hard. It's really, really hard. It's super disorientating, especially for someone like me who really values the truth. It can be really a hard blow. But you know what? That's okay because I have my convictions. And even when what I thought was true turns out not to be true, and it feels like, you know, things are ripping out from under my feet and I'm in shock, I can get back to myself by just continuing onward with what I believe is right. Keep keeping promises, keep following through with commitments, keep helping people, keep trying, keep showing up. That motivates me. That keeps me grounded. And that gets me back to myself. And I'm a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. I have an ocean of love in me, and I pour out that love to people. I like that I am generous. I'm generous with my feelings. I'm generous with my time. I'm generous with my love and my caring. And I am generous with my ethics. And it really does keep you grounded in a world that's filled with so much misinformation and people constantly trying to influence you, technology constantly trying to influence you, politics constantly trying to influence you. Having such a strong sense of your morals, your ethics, your values, it just keeps you grounded in a way that's priceless.